lay down. There we go. Hey fruit faces, sorry about this crazy view, but I'm in bed. I just want to make a quick response video because we're having another one bites the dust. Okay, we've got Elise from Raw Alignment, another big, pretty big name, YouTube star. These young girls get the aesthetics and they know what is necessary to get big, and they do it, and they get big, and then they're not going they're all of a sudden they're not vegan anymore. And with Elise, it was a bunch of rambling. She didn't seem to have an excuse, I guess you could say. Not that I think like with Bonnie Rebecca that it's okay or that it's the best thing that she should have done or that it's the right thing to do or whatever, but it doesn't seem like anything like that, like health-wise, crazy health scares or anything is going on with Elise. She's just deciding to respect other people's opinions. I mean, I don't know. It was basically rambling for 12 minutes and then, oh, what's going to happen next? Just kind of subtle. And I don't know if she is just trying to get attention, because I think that's partially what it is. Because it's a lot of times it's the same type of people kind of doing the same thing. It's like, again, I don't want to be like just attention seekers, attention whores or whatever, but that's kind of what, more of the people that tend to be flip-flopping back and forth tend to be, vegan for, basically they're not vegan, they're plant-based. And that's one thing. Don't fucking say that you're vegan if you're not vegan, if you're plant-based. Like, there's a difference. And I didn't know that either. When I first went vegan, I actually wasn't vegan for the animals at all. And I went vegan, just because that's what I had seen it called. But actually, I was technically plant-based, working my way towards vegan. The ethical side of it came later for me, unfortunately. But at least it came, and, I can't imagine eating animals. Like, I just can't imagine it. And if you're ever trying to say you're an ex-vegan, like, ex-vegans don't exist, because if you were vegan for the animals, you wouldn't change your mind to go back. You just wouldn't. And I find it really disheartening that these kids, these young, hip girls are leading so many people down, this road. Because we need more vegans, not less. We need more high-profile vegans, not less. And part of the problem is who we give our attention to. As a society, we are shallow. We are looking for the aesthetics. We want the quick fix. We want just the inspiration, and we want it now. You know what I mean? We don't want to watch things that aren't as pretty. We don't want to watch things that are more average and normal, because we want to, get out of our own lives and get into somebody else's. And that's why you're seeing, it's all about, Thailand. It's all about going to these gorgeous destinations, Costa Rica, Fiji, wherever, Bali, and, that helps to build up this image, of these females. Mainly I say females because I think it's easier for females to gain a big following, from Asina to Bonnie Rebecca to like all of these. It's just relatively easy, if you have, a banging body and, anything to say at all, and this aesthetic, that you can get up there, go to Thailand, go wherever and get this attention. And I find it frustrating. I find it really frustrating to look out and see, people who are getting tons and tons of likes because they're just showing their ass and literally have almost no content, but yet they want to try to balance it out with like vegan message. And it's like, okay, well, at least you're saying the vegan message. That's great. But I just wonder, like, on both sides of the scale, how many people are using veganism to get attention? How many people are using, like, going back from veganism to get attention. Because honestly, when you're talking about, this YouTube, this Instagram, people are making big money off of this shit. That's the thing we need to realize. That's why I am so obsessed basically with following the little guys. I've always been a fan of the underdog, but if you see who I follow on Instagram, who I follow on Twitter, who I follow on Facebook, it's just not like that as much, so it doesn't really apply. But I really am at this point seeking out new vegans to support instead of only following the most biggest, vegan names, because it should be like a grassroots thing. I mean, the videos that more established vegans are doing are great. But again, I just have this aversion to fake, and I think that it's sad when that's what sells so much in our society, is when these girls are putting on 16 layers of makeup or more, and and they do one makeup video and then bam, it's like they have all of these views. Well, what does that do for society? Like, how is that helping anybody? I just encourage people to go deeper, go deeper with yourself, who you are, realize that you shouldn't be, limiting yourself or holding yourself up to other people's standards or stereotypes or I feel like half the time people are becoming cartoons. Like, it's like they're just trying to become a meme. They live this certain lifestyle doing these certain things or this certain online clique. And it's just like, so first of all, it's silly, it's annoying, and it won't last. Like, we need classic truths, education, and logical arguments to take this down. We need to be taken seriously. And that's like one thing Rice and Raw, Sasha Nicole from Rice and Raw said a long time ago, like, all these vegans are dropping out of the world, dropping out of the rat race. And that's fine if that's really what you want to do and you can support that. But, we need people here in the real world. We need people raising children, vegan children. We need people fighting for things in our politics. We need people, like, going to work every day and sharing with your coworkers and leading a good example, not just like escaping life to go be like some kind of a hermit across the ocean. So anyway, just kind of a ramble in response to this. But like I said, I think it's time for us all to do some self-reflection and think about the things that we are looking at for entertainment, whether it's porn, whether it's, network television, watching, animal cruelty shows basically, or, just again, who we follow, and making sure that we're reaching out to new vegans out there and helping them, because it's like, it's messed up when you see somebody post a picture of their ass and they get like 15 million likes or something, and then you have like a struggling vegan who's asking for something and they're not really getting anything, like say on Twitter or something. But I just feel really strongly about this, and it's kind of been in the back of my mind anyway. And then once I heard this, it's just like, my initial thought is like, oh, another one bites the dust. And it's like, why? Why is it all of, I don't know. And I know it's not even fair to say, oh, it's this certain type of person or that certain type of person. But it is definitely people who are obviously, people who are becoming ex-vegans. They're obviously like not, they just don't speak out again. They're not in it for the animals. Even if they say they are, like, that's not their main focus. And I've been ridiculed of this before too. And I always say, well, it should be both. And I think vegans need to be healthy in order to be good activists and examples of the vegan lifestyle. My dog is twitching right now. He's like, Mom, shut up. You're talking. I'm trying to sleep. But like I said, I just think that we should be, like I said, helpful, following, remain classy. Because if you just make a joke out of yourself, then you're just really doing a disservice to everybody else. And I just don't get this whole Elise thing with this, oh, just respect other people's lives. It's like, well, why don't you respect the animals' lives? Because that really is, I don't want to say that's the bottom line, because that's what veganism is about. But, I mean, again, to me, the environmental aspects of veganism cannot be ignored from, not just air quality, because people still want to try to argue that all the time. It's, it's the air and the land and the water around these cesspools, around these factories. It's hurting people. It's giving them cancer. It's causing them severe problems. All of the grain that's going from third world countries to feed the cows and the pigs and everything is being taken away from these indigenous countries, these first world countries, third world countries that, need the grains for themselves, and they need their farmland for themselves. And the rainforests are being cut down mainly because of animal agriculture. Everybody wants to promote grass-fed beef, but then guess what? The world cannot sustain itself on grass-fed beef, so what the fuck are you thinking? So don't talk to me about respecting other people's choices when your fucking choices don't respect animals, don't respect the earth. It's bullshit. That's a bottom line. It's not the way we've always done it, and it's going to take people a while to wrap their heads around that. It's probably going to take, honestly, lab-grown meat to kind of get people out of it, I think. But we're going the right direction, and I feel really hopeful about it, despite, these tricklings of, attention-seeking ex-vegans and whatnot, because, honestly, I wouldn't be half surprised if half the people switching, from a vegan diet are still eating pretty much vegan, almost vegan, like highly vegan, or go back to veganism a short while later. Like you have, what is it, Vegan Police? He's just so, attention this, attention that, back and forth. Am I going back to be vegan? You can't even take them seriously, and you stop watching their videos altogether. So, anyway, 5 years vegan here, going strong. Definitely not going to be flip-flopping on you ever. Mark my words. So yeah, stay subbed. Help me in supporting the little guy, the underdogs of the world. That's also what you're doing if you're supporting me, if you're watching my channels and following me all across the social media. I love to say stuff like that. The Facebook, the social media, the old Instagram. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed now. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Let me know what you think. Bye.